Hi, I'm Chris Hancock, the head engineer at Music Feeds Studios. And one thing that we've been doing with the Music Feeds crew in the last couple of years is a lot of live streams. Bands on a more rock tip, folk tip, classical. We do a lot of classical piano stuff here, strings stuff, a whole range, the whole spectrum of music really. We use a range of microphones in the studio here, from a bunch of dynamics, from old sort of more classic vintage things to a few new microphones. We're here today to talk about this fella, which is the Audio-Technica AE6100 LE. It's a Hypercardioid dynamic mic, so nice tight polar pattern. But this particular one is pretty much in every one of our live streams on vocals as a starting point. It's the AE6100 LE. We choose it generally because, as opposed to other dynamic mics that we could choose, this one requires very little EQ. The top end, or well, not the top end, but around 1K to 4K is very present and quite punchy, and so we end up when we're quickly setting up for live streams, sometimes we'll have 3 touring bands on the road, rushing in with their roadies, setting up, sort of tracking a whole sort of set, and then whizzing off. The next folks in with maybe a completely different arrangement of instruments, so it's very fast paced. And these fellas, through a really good preamp and a nice compressor, need no EQ effectively for a lot of our stuff. For the average voice, they've got just enough top end, they're not too bulbous down the bottom, they've got quite a bit of air, and due to the hypercardioid nature, they're quite tight, so we can often will have the lead vocalist only 3 meters away from a drummer who's going for gold, or a bass player with his amp turned right up, or a guitarist with their amp turned right up. So they're particularly good with just giving us a tighter sort of pickup field, and just really giving us all the presence that we need in the vocal. And yeah, a very impressive dynamic mic. We recently used this mic along with numerous other live streams and recordings on a Northern Beaches band in New South Wales called Hattie Carroll. The vocalist has a good tone texture in the top of his voice, a nice sort of wisp and grain, and with the examples that you'll see, you'll hear that the mic was without any EQ, just a nice preamp and a bit of compression was able to really bring the sort of air and the texture of his voice right to the forefront.
Yeah, I don't know where I am, I wanna know where I stand. So I bite my lip and hold my breath and let my head do its best, but it's gonna.
And that even being in a live band setup, so drums somewhat flaring around in the background, basses, guitar amps, and keys. So yeah, a very versatile mic.
Yeah.